This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by Hayabusa. Save 10% off plus free shipping at HayabusaFight.com with code NUTSDEAL. Save 12% off at all-battery.com with code MMA522. Save 10% off at metalmilitia.com with code MMA Nuts. Save 20% off with code MMA Nuts at protectabed.com. DefenseSoap.com. Serious soap for serious athletes. Save 15% off with code MMA Nuts. Hey fans, MMA Nuts. Episode 271.
271.
My name's Ingo Weigel.
Matt Grill, MMA Show. By fans, for my fans, where we walk the line between serious and ridiculous.
I got you, didn't I? I was trying to find the perfect.
Get me?
Nope. Okay.
I'm a fucking seasoned professional.
I am?
6 years on the job.
Perfect.
Something like that.
So,
yeah.
There were some fights last night.
There were.
Yeah. Did you have a problem with something that is pretty popular out there, but apparently is not working so well with the UFC? What's it called? Fight Pass / pay-per-view.
Xbox One. So I figured, we finally have the technology. The Fight Pass has made it to Xbox One.
Yes.
You can order a pay-per-view through it. Tried to do it the last event they had. It was a problem do ordering. This one went through. Then I'm watching the TV. I'm going, something's wrong. I don't know what it is. Can't quite put my finger on it. Feels like I'm underwater. I asked everyone else, what's the opinion? I think you're the only other one that could figure out there's something wrong here.
Well, I wonder if everyone else is trying to be polite.
I don't know.
I don't know. They're like, no, it looks fine. I'm like, I don't know. I think he's right. Something looks not right.
Yeah, and I just said, fuck it. And I called Comcast. I said, give me the pay-per-view now, and flipped over it. Night and day. It's like someone put a filter.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe someone put saran wrap over the stream.
Could be.
Fucking
Possible.
horse shit. Xbox, UFC. I want my money back. I will get my money back.
Yes.
Or our money back.
It's probably highly compressed.
It was horrible. So I advise do not order UFC pay-per-view through the Xbox.
No. But did you watch Fight Pass through there before?
Yeah.
And it's fine?
I didn't notice that issue on the recorded stuff that you could dial up.
Interesting. I wonder if it's pulling from somewhere else, and when it streams live,
stream
like
was
it's
just,
a whole different thing. Who knows?
Not good.
But don't do it. I mean, or if you did do it and you had a good experience, let us know. But it almost looked like it wasn't quite in high def. It was like 999p or something. Like it was like a little off, you know?
And I need perfection.
That's right.
I have to have perfection, because
yeah.
Otherwise I'm going to obsess about it the whole fucking night.
Yeah.
So I said, a minute in, fuck it.
I would have been okay
ordering.
with it, but you're like, no, I'm calling. Like, okay, whatever. And then you change it, like you said, and it was pretty night and day. Well, it's good to see that they're branching out. I'm sure, I wonder if they're going to come to like Amazon Prime soon, because Amazon just notified people that you can do like Showtime and HBO and all these like pay-to-play type streaming shit through them. So maybe like pay-per-views are next.
I don't know, but it would still go through the Xbox. Unless I run it through the TiVo.
I don't think it's the Xbox. I have a feeling it's to do with just the stream itself. That would be odd. Because, dude, I watch fucking movies on the Xbox all the time. Like
yeah,
streaming.
there's no problem with HD.
Nope.
Just that live stream for whatever reason.
Fuck you, UFC.
And then I was having issues with Fight Pass, too, when I was watching the Rose Namajunas versus Paige Van Zandt fight.
Yes.
Every 5 minutes. Well, I didn't watch it live. I was watching it probably a little bit afterwards. Every 5 minutes, the fucking thing would log me out.
Oh, nice.
Like, this is great. So I can watch about a round at a time.
Yeah, perfect.
Son of a bitch. Log back in. Get logged out. And then you email them about zero support 3 days later. Were you logged in on any other device? Were you this? Were you that?
They ask you another question, right?
You know what? Go fuck yourself. There was something wrong. Deal with it.
Some tech support really blows, because like I'll try to make a point that sometimes I'm like, all right, I had this problem and this is what I was doing. I tried A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and they'll have a fucking queue that I never thought of. And like, have you done this? And that's the only thing they ask you. They don't address anything else, right? So, I don't know.
All right, before we tangent too far.
Are we taking it too far?
Oh, I could keep going down tangents of Comcast and whatever, but
I'm scared because he's been so calm before. This is unusual. He's been very relaxed. I'm afraid to ask
Conor
him
McGregor-esque in my approach to tonight's show.
Yes. I'm afraid to ask him, and I will in a second, about how he really feels. How do you feel about UFC 194 let's start with the main event. Since
bastard.
let's go right into it. You know.
Well, I want to say this before the fight start. We recorded. I may or may not put the reaction in, but Ingo goes before the McGregor fight starts because it's going to be a one-punch knockout. Watch. Then 13 seconds later, boom, knockout. What the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? Like, I was so disappointed. I am still disappointed to this moment. I want my title fights to be like a little back and forth. Yeah. Anything that ends in under a minute, I feel so unsatisfied.
Feel cheated?
Yes.
Okay.
It was the same thing like when Ronda Rousey was winning all her fights. 13 seconds, 16 seconds, whatever. Anything under a minute. She had multiple. That's not what I pay for. I pay for entertainment. And to me, a 14-second fight is not a fight. And I don't care what anybody on that broadcast team says. Not a fight!
Do you like a little foreplay in your fighting?
Yes, I like a little bit.
Okay.
You gotta tease me a little bit. You can't just
right
ram it home.
Like,
no lube, Miss Rousey.
Well,
like doing it wrong, right?
Like, you know, moisten me up a little, right?
Yeah.
You know, okay, there's so much to talk about.
Like, do you start at the weigh-ins? Do we start? Where do you want to start? Probably talk about the weigh-ins a little bit. Was that weird when you see Aldo goes down in the karate stance against McGregor and then gives him a little chin music with the
get over here.
You got a little too close. He touched him on the face.
Startled him a bit, you know. But, you know, I feel like the big thing that really freaked me out was reading today about McGregor's premonition of, like, Jose's right hand when he throws the right hand. There's a quote out there if you look it up. He kind of broke it down on what would happen if Jose tried to throw his right hand. He's like talking about entering and he would connect and he would finish. And it's like almost he knew. And so there was something in his game that they figured out. And I think perhaps with all the shtick that surrounds him, he may be extremely intelligent fight-wise, and we just don't even know it. Like, look at how he trains with the whole stick thing. Did you watch that?
I'm not buying into all that bullshit. I think this is
Steven Seagal.
Exactly, Mr. Seagal in the form of Ido Portal or whatever the guy's name is. The movement and the horse shit. Well, then why didn't it work for Gunnar Nelson? Right?
Good
movement and motion and flow state.
Because he's not Irish.
I don't know. I just think it may work for him. I don't think everyone should start buying into this nonsense.
That's going to be the thing now. They should release a Conor McGregor training stick.
Oh, God.
Just a stick. It's a piece of wood that says $100 with the DVD.
Shit. Reebok. They'd spell it wrong and put the USA flag on it.
Yes.
You know. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, shocking, obviously. Dude, I don't know what to say. You called this last week. You said if McGregor beats Aldo, watch, he will not get a rematch. And what happened?
No immediate rematch. I'm so fucking upset. And it started with Joe Rogan, who says, 13 seconds is a fight, no match or no rematch.
He finished it.
Nobody talked about it. Everybody on the panel from UFC Tonight, nobody says immediate rematch for Jose Aldo. And then one of those assholes says, okay, for Weidman Rockhold, we should have an immediate rematch.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So think about all the people that we've had have immediate rematches, from Ronda Rousey, Cain Velasquez, Renan Barão, Anderson Silva. You could even go Frankie Edgar, and you could go BJ Penn.
Yeah. But
when Dana White said, I'll give you some exact quotes of the reasons why these people got immediate rematches, and then you could tell me how Jose Aldo does not deserve one. So, Ronda Rousey versus Holly Holm, Dana White said, Ronda Rousey has gone undefeated, taken a sport to another level, and was beating the best woman in the world in 14 seconds or 30 seconds, so she deserves a rematch. So that was the reasoning for her. Renan Barão, when he lost to TJ Dillashaw. But how do you now not give it to Barão? The guy who was undefeated all those years. I agree he got a 5-round ass whooping and got finished, but how does it make sense to not give him the rematch, and who doesn't want to see it? Okay. Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman. Guy hasn't lost in the UFC ever, has beat everybody. He loses that fight, he's the guy for the rematch if he wants it. So hearing all that, how does a guy who hasn't lost in 10 years not get an immediate rematch? This is the one that seems to make the most sense for one. neither guy got to display anything. Yes, Conor knocked him out. Fluke.
There was one exchange. I mean, and it was definitely, and actually they both hit each other at the same time. It just appears that
someone dropped their hand when he was throwing left hook.
You know, Conor was getting hit moving backwards, and Jose was getting hit moving forwards in a way. Like it was kind of like one of those.
He went into it.
Like but he got tagged, and Jose just, I mean, shit. When somebody, it's like Anderson Silva, Forrest Griffin style. Like he just walked right into it. Great. How do you judge anything by that? Like you said, I mean, there's no who's better, who's not better.
Right.
What would happen in a rematch? I don't know. I mean, sure, it could be like Kane and was it Junior? Fucking ass beating he gave him the second time, like even worse, right? But I mean, really, I think maybe there's some weird shit going on.
There is, because well, I think it's because he was very vocal about one, not getting paid enough from the UFC, two, starting a fighters union, and three, saying the Reebok deal was shit. And you add all that up, or they're just racist against Brazilians. I'm joking about that last fight. Or am I? Fucking guys. Right. I'm just saying, he's the one that deserves it. I wanted to see, these guys are both the best in the world. Let's have a fucking fight. We didn't get to see, 13 seconds is not a fight. I'm sorry.
No.
That shit needs to get done again.
Yeah, and I hated the line of questioning by Rogan after. I mean, it just seemed like, dude, what a freaking like weird, what's going on? Like he seemed so biased. Like the line, like the way he was asking the questions and saying, well, you know, whatever. And then even the post-fight press conference, you know, where's Dana? What the fuck's going on? No one's saying anything.
Yeah, and then Conor McGregor taking over the press conference. David Scholler, just sit down. I'm gonna fucking take over.
Did a great job though.
He did. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. But you're the employee. Well, you're not the employee. You're the independent contractor. We need to have a pecking order,
right?
Because someone's head is going from here to swollen.
Well, I mean, yeah, but in fairness, he seemed very calm after this. Like,
yeah, I mean,
strange kind of calmness to him. And I wonder if it was like a man who realizes potential, and he's just, I'm here. Like this is what I've been working for, and I'm at peace now. Maybe that's his chink in his armor.
Maybe
I say. Could be. Yes.
But it's weird. So Conor wins. Credit to him. Okay, fine. I still don't think he's a better fighter than Jose yet because I haven't seen that fight.
Wow. I'm feeling a hate from you as I have for Jon Jones. I'm feeling it's brewing, like similar.
It's not the hate for Conor. It's the lack of disrespect for Jose. I don't feel he's being treated fairly by the UFC.
Oh, definitely not.
So that's where I side with him in this scenario where I think he's being wronged and they need to right him. Because they've done that for everybody else. Why not him?
Yeah.
That's my point.
Oh,
so
yeah. Good point, yeah.
So Conor's options now are he can choose to go up to 155 and fight the winner of Rafael dos Anjos versus Donald Cerrone.
I like it.
Or he stays at 145 and fights Frankie Edgar.
He wants to do both, it seems.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't know if he knows what he wants to do yet.
That Frankie fight's tough. Ooh. I mean, he just had a pretty good victory, right? A couple days prior.
Which, I mean, it could be debatable about maybe Chad was a little compromised coming in the fight, didn't fully recover from that McGregor knockout.
Sure.
And this IV ban. You know, Frankie has not been known as a knockout artist, and that punch landed weird too because it was a left hook. It kind of like it's kind of temple nose hit him, and then he's out cold. So
just like that.
It's weird, but so
can you do both? Can
he? He just showed me the interview with Conor and Ariel Helwani. He said, if I go up to fight 155, I'm keeping both belts. You're not taking my 145 belt.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna have to beat it off me.
Yeah, beat him off. That sounded wrong.
Yes. I don't know, man. This is tough. It's weird. It's almost like now, in my head, I'm thinking like, Conor. I liked Conor before, but it's like, man, he's done what he. It's like, what else can he do? Am I still excited about Conor McGregor?
Make a 9-figure contract. Well, didn't Verdum just say he signed a 7-figure contract?
I wonder what is this money involving? What is it?
I have no idea.
Is there like private? Well, the one thing we didn't talk about is the Reebok, right? What if there's inside extra contract coming for Conor through like a Reebok?
Well, they got his shirt out so fast.
yeah.
It was unbelievable. Just like the cover of EA UFC.
Bam.
You know, and I can't go down this path.
I want to ask you before.
Go ahead.
What about the shorts? How come he got the red green shorts?
Thank you.
How come?
What the fuck? So out of anybody in the UFC, he's not even the champion. He was a fake champion at the time. He gets to wear green shorts. Nobody else gets any flavor.
Nope.
Only Conor McGregor.
That's right.
I like it, though. As long as everybody else can get it. So this guy can do whatever the fuck he wants. And
he seems like he's writing his own ticket at this point.
Well,
I mean, he keeps talking. He keeps doing what he says. He's backing shit up. I mean, it's crazy.
wait till he loses.
Yeah.
Then what happens?
Be the true test.
Look what happened to Ronda Rousey. At least Conor will talk shit pre-fight, but then post-fight, very humble,
Respectful.
very respectful. Big difference between him and Ronda. So I think if he loses, you're going to see some hate, but not to the Ronda Rousey level of hate.
Yeah. No, yeah, Rousey's for sure. Fuck. We'll talk about her in a minute.
Yes.
Man. All right. So who knows what's next for McGregor?
And who knows what's next for Jose? I mean,
do you think he retires?
No, I think he still wants to fight. You can't go out like that.
In the cage,
you can't go out like that.
I mean, he was really upset, visibly upset.
Oh.
And then there's that couple pictures of him in his his warm-up room, which strange most likely came from a security camera. How that leaked, I don't know. Find it suspect. Whatever.
What are you saying? Like maybe one camp saw what the other camp was doing?
Perhaps.
Little
Strange.
insider.
I don't know. And then how does that picture get? I mean, who's in charge of this video surveillance? Right. All of a sudden, somebody's going to do. I feel like there's some Zuffa involvement in this getting out because it's a horrible picture. It's like almost like if somebody was an artist, they should paint that like with the finish somehow melded of like the feeling of defeat. It's like you can see a champion who's like pretty much just like suffered utter defeat and is devastated by what happened and just speechless. That'd be a sweet picture, like to have. Like he should put that in his house to remind himself. Like fucking got his ass knocked out.
Yeah, thanks. That's what I want to be reminded of. I actually want to be face down, ass up, preferably naked.
It's more like
with Conor McGregor just railing me with a fucking
him in the ass with
four-leaf clover in one hand and a pot of gold in the other. What the hell? Why not? And a Reebok T-shirt with the fucking USA flag on.
There you go. Yeah, maybe Conor should send him that. There you go.
And his 6-foot Reebok stick.
Yes.
Nice. We're marketing geniuses over here. You can hire us.
Watch. This is gonna happen, and then we're gonna claim like copyright, sue Reebok.
Yes, I'm trademarking that right now.
National news. Like, hey, small MMA podcast or large MMA podcast, whichever one.
Depends which side of the equator you're on.
Yes. Gets like millions in restitution for
type royalties. All that good stuff.
Yes. All right. So, you have anything else on this?
I just have a bad taste in my mouth after this fight.
Yeah.
But I think it's the time. Just a short fight. You don't get to see what's really going to happen. So we'll move along. I don't want to go down any darker of a hole because that feels pretty dark.
Let's talk about Rockhold Weidman. What are your thoughts on this?
Enjoyable. It's too bad that the other fight was on this card because this fight got overshadowed the entire time. Weidman looked, and here's another thought too. With this enhanced drug testing, is it curious that Weidman comes in 20 pounds lighter than normal?
A little.
I just think about that today. Like, can we just say that we stopped drinking, hired a nutritionist, and then we come in 20 pounds lighter?
Good. He must have been drinking quite a bit.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
That's a lot of
his body was super lean.
Yeah. The other thing is, I wonder if maybe they fuck with the formula. Like the guy's used to being a certain way.
Yeah.
And then now he's like all clean and his body's going, wait a minute.
Well, that's what Cormier was talking about, Jon Jones, right? Doing all this powerlifting.
There you go.
How's that going to affect you? You've been successful one way and now you're trying something else, which should be better, but in turn,
maybe not for you.
I don't know if that was the case per se. I think in this case, it's really the training partners. Yeah. Chris doesn't have the championship training partners that Rockhold has.
True.
And, you know, you look at the first round, Chris was able to get takedowns, won the first round. And then I think it was about the second round where the tide started shifting.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chris goes to throw that spinning fucking like wheel kick or some shit. And Luke body locks him, takes him down.
Yep.
And once he got on top, death.
Yeah, it was bad.
Death.
You had said that, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, that if Rockhold gets the top position, I think you had mentioned that would be trouble for Weidman.
Well, we were always like, who's going to get the takedown? Like, whoever gets that top control, that's the guy who's going to win. And man, early stoppage, Ingo.
Yeah? You think?
Why didn't they stop it in the third round?
I don't know.
How many blood? I was... mercy! Mercy!
Right. Well, Chuck Liddell was going bananas and during that last 15 seconds. Like,
Good
I don't know
Lord.
if he cares, like, who wins, maybe because he's a West Coast boy, he likes Rockhold, but I think it was more like, hey, man, like, dude, the guy's, like, fucking... He's not doing anything. Make it
brain
stop.
damage.
Yes.
Let's try to prevent it. That's what your job is, Herb Dean.
Yep.
And this is that point of fighter safety. How far is too far? I think we hit it in this fight. And then in the fourth round, he kind of did a makeup where he only hit him like 4 or 5 times and then decides, okay, I better stop it. Luke Rockhold, new champion.
Yes, sir.
It's impressive, man. I enjoyed that fight. You know why? Because we got a little back and forth. One guy's winning early, and then the other guy wins later. I'd prefer a little more back and forth, but hey, I take it. Take it.
It was good.
Yes.
The rest of the card was a lot of decisions.
It sucked. The rest of the card, not so good. But the problem is now, who the fuck does Rockhold fight next?
Anderson Silva.
Fine. Done.
Vitor Belfort?
Well,
I think that's what
he wants. I don't think he should get it because Chris just beat him. And then you can't have a guy that just lost to the champ to fight him again unless you're Chael Sonnen.
Right. Could happen. Vitor in Brazil.
Oh, see? That I'd be in for then.
Yes.
TRT Belfort?
Oh, yes.
Coming back? He's so tough? You beat me?
Oh, yes. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I don't know.
I mean, the one that makes the most sense is the other fight, the Jacare versus Yoel Romero.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to see, this fence grabbing nonsense, it was the theme of all, I think that's when I almost threw the beer bottle at my TV because of all the fence grabbing. And that literally changed the outcome of this fight because Yoel grabbed the fence 3 times. And, you know, I think either as a sport or the refs or the UFC, we need to just say, we're either going to allow people to grab the fence or we're taking a point away as soon as they grab it. And if the refs aren't going to do that, then I think the UFC needs to start fining fighters some sort of amount. Maybe it's 10% for every fucking time you grab that fence.
Okay.
That's going to stop some people, or you're going to be broke in the process.
Yeah.
But it's got to change because people are just cheating and cheating and cheating. And for a guy like Yoel Romero, he doesn't need to be labeled a cheater any more than having this in the Tim Kennedy stool incident, you know.
Any advantage, right?
Well, they should, at least the ref did a halfway good job of stopping the action and making them reset, but I thought he should have took the point and or let Jacare get top position.
Okay.
But, you know, it's a split decision win for Romero, and that little grabbing of the fence probably won him the fight.
Could have, yeah. Because I think Jacare might have taken him down there, right?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of got him down and then got reversed right away. Yeah. But, you know, if he gets the initial takedown in perfect position.
Could have been a finisher. Because he did get rocked late in the first, right, Jacare?
Mm-hmm.
And barely
he lost the first round.
Oh, yeah.
The second round was a question mark, and then the third round was clearly Jacare.
Yep. So, fight business is tough. It's so tiny margins, you know?
Mm-hmm. And not the most exciting of fights. And I think if you looked at the stats on paper, it was pretty clear Jacare should have won that fight based on strikes landed, takedown.
Yeah. I don't know. Another thing that bothered me.
Yes.
Since seems to be the trend today.
Go ahead.
Is the Maia dominates.
Complete domination. There's no question.
Yes.
Was a 30, I think 25 in my book.
Yeah. The one judge scored 30-25
I think we had a couple. We had a 30-26. I think we had a 30-25. It may have been two 30-26 and a 30-25.
Yeah, there was. I mean, total domination. And the only reason we were talking, were you asking me this last night about like what constitutes a 10-8 round or something?
Yeah.
That was the discussion we had, right? Okay, I thought maybe it was just in my head. It's hard to do with the grappling. I don't know how you judge that.
Right, you control someone 100% of the 5 minutes. Is that? Because there was that fight, the number of strikes landed discrepancy. I think at one point during the fight was Demian Maia, 141 strikes landed, Gunnar Nelson 5. It's like, what the fuck? So at what point do we say it's a percent of strikes landed, the percent of how many more you've landed than your opponent? But I think we need to establish some clear criteria of what constitutes a 10-8 round, because when you go back and you look at the Paige Van Zandt versus Rose fight, there should have been some 10-8 rounds. And I don't think there were any 10-8 rounds given in that fight.
No, I don't think so.
Fuck, man.
Weird. Maybe because they're women. Let them go.
And then I think that's why the Maia versus Nelson fight, you finally saw some, because this is the third night of fights. And I think they finally corrected.
Could have, yeah.
Maybe someone got a speaking to.
Could be. Could definitely be.
So what did you think of Joe Rogan's line of questioning to Demian Maia after the fight?
I don't know what's up with him. He's been a little bit strange in his... I didn't like when Demian asked for the title shot and Rogan's like, whoa, there's some guys ahead of you, like, simmer down now, you know? And I'm like, dude, like, this guy's a fucking, like, decorated... I mean, he's had how many, like, 16 fights in UFC or 18 or something crazy, you know? And he's been... 3-fight win streak now and doing it pretty against young...
4-fight, I think now.
4-fight, yeah.
Yeah.
Against young guys who are tough and just...
And people choosing him, not him choosing these other people. He wants to fight the top numbered guys.
He wants the belt, and I like to see that in him, but I mean, why not? Why not do it? I don't know, maybe someone... I wonder, does Rogan wear the ear thing the whole time? Okay. People are probably... I'm feeling like they hired some new guy who's like, nope, not doing that, like... Telling Joe, like, you got to say this, you got to say that. Maybe that's why the whole, like, maybe I'll be back, maybe I won't. Maybe he's become, like, sort of a
puppet?
Yeah.
Could be.
Is it possible?
I'm just saying, the whole broadcast seemed real puppety. Real puppety. Whatever that means.
Dude, what if they sell on December 31st? And it's like, it's been a whole, all mad dash to get to that point. And everyone's getting a cut, right? Everyone's like, yeah, that's not like fucking $1 million. Thank you. See you later.
Maybe. Interesting. Well, think about too of all the champions that have lost, or the prospects. So you have Paige Van Zandt loses. That's a prospect they probably didn't want to lose, but
nope.
Ronda Rousey, Chris Weidman. They didn't want Jose to win, so but
did Kane lose this year too? Yeah, in the spring, right?
I don't remember when the last time he fought, but yeah, I think it was early this year.
It was like May, April, something like this, right?
Yeah. So, like, fuck, man,
dropping like flies.
And there was, I don't know if it was we were talking before the show, where it was within the last year and a half, where you had pretty much every division, with the exception to I think 125, that the champion is no longer a champion. It was Dominic Cruz, Renan Barão, Jose Aldo. Let's see, it was 55, 170, GSP, Anderson Silva, Jon Jones, and then any heavyweight.
Yep. Crazy. So, are you excited for the future of the MMA space?
Of course. This is what we were asking for, because we had all these dominant champions. Like, fuck, this is getting so boring.
Yes.
Everyone just keeps winning and winning. I think it was more so GSP, because he got boring at the end.
Yeah.
But now everything gets a little bit different with, I watched that Demian Maia fight. I enjoy it on a different level. Like, it's entertaining on some weird, like, watching people play chess. I don't know. Yeah, it's not a striking battle, but it's interesting on its own level. Maybe I'm a wine drinker now.
I was going to say, have you traded in your beer for like a fine wine?
Maybe.
And a pipe or something?
Or something.
Like weird.
Maybe it's the beard. The longer it grows, the more appreciative I am of just domination.
It's pretty epic period.
Maybe John Fitch.
Brush that fucker out.
Every day, I can put oil. I have a special beard oil.
Okay,
and
nice.
massage that in. I shampoo it. I condition it.
Wow, it's a lot of
And
work.
then beard
That's
oil.
why his hair's short, because he doesn't want. It's too much work to do both, so you have to like pick
can't
one
do
or the other.
both. You gotta have a clean head. Plus, when you take a shower, the nerves, it feels so nice.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. Did you like the Maia fight?
I did. I loved it. I
Okay.
thought it was great. Very entertaining. I like to see him do well.
Who was the other fight that happened? Ryan Hall?
Oh yeah. Well,
We should talk about that one, right?
that was yeah.
That
the
was
night
earlier
before,
in
the
the
night before that. Yeah, I mean, looking like a wizard. You know, he reminds me of Demian Maia, as he is now. When Demian
when
was
we
young.
first came in.
Yeah,
right?
just submitting people and being all weird with his freaking leg locks, and nobody knows how to fucking stop that. And it's like the only thing I'm worried about is his striking. The division he's in is pretty tough. So.
And then we got to talk. There's two weird stand-ups. So there's that fight. So Hall's riding his back for like 3 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then was it Herb Dean who was the ref finally splits him up,
I
or
think so,
whoever
yeah.
was in there? Like, how do you? He's got his back
The blood.
and a body triangle.
Mhm.
You can't fucking split him up. And then you had the Weidman Rockhold fight where Rockhold had the guillotine locked up, but they were almost both stalemated for a while.
Mhm.
And he didn't have it. It was weird because he was kind of like off to the side.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was half guard, but it was a weird position. He's not going to get
him
the.
in side control, but more of a half guard.
He's not going to finish it
Yeah.
in that position. But he's got a submission locked and they stand it up. I don't agree with that.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know. That might have been Herb Dean both times.
Maybe he's slipping.
Mm.
I mean, it's a long weekend.
It is.
And thank God we're not reporters, because who the fuck would want to be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday? This fucking press
dead.
conference didn't happen for UFC 194 until like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Finishes at 2:30. All these guys got to get their articles. I saw some of them putting, like, it's 6 a.m. I just got finished writing all my articles. Now I'm hopping a plane to go home. Good Lord. Glad we don't do that. Just saying.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you, baby Jesus.
Yeah, it's a little 8-pound baby Jesus.
Perfect. All right. Shall we get out of this?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything else more to say. What do you think the buy rate was? They said, or Conor McGregor said that the gate was 10.1 million, not 10, 10.1.
He knows.
And I want to say the attendance was maybe 17,000 or something.
Nice.
Huge, huge fucking thing. Do you still think pay-per-view 1.2 or higher?
No, I'm gonna keep that. I think it's in that range. It's not. I would be surprised if it was a lot more. You think it's gonna be more?
Well, based on some other data that I was looking at, like internally, let's just say
You got your top men on this? Like
some shit was double the
Oh.
highest number we've ever
Oh,
seen
that
on
data.
some other things.
Okay.
Huh.
And then I wonder, do they count like the people who order the pay-per-view like today? And then I know that
It should.
happens.
It should,
So it
yeah.
counts, right? So I wonder there would be a lot of, like, if you're Irish and you didn't see that fucker, you going to buy that pay-per-view now? Probably.
Probably.
Right?
Probably.
Could be pretty crazy.
I mean, it could be over 1.2, and that would be ridiculous. I'm going to still stand by 1.2 million.
Oh, it's like 2 million. 2 point something.
I don't know, man. You want a 9-figure contract?
Fuck yeah.
And
Hey, man. You can get it.
is there a little animosity between Conor McGregor and Dana White, Lorenzo, and Frank Fertitta?
I don't know, because he kind of had that interview with Hawani. You looked that up post fight. He was very calm and collected.
Mhm.
And Ariel had asked him something along those lines, and he started. Matt had a reading kind of similarly, but slightly different than me. But we both kind of agree that he said no, as in things are not good. But then he backtracked away.
Yeah.
He's like I wasn't sure if he's trying to be crafty and say that yes, things are bad, but I'm not going to come out and say it, or if he was like, oh fuck, I just got a little too, comfortable.
Exactly, because he was way
the
too
moment.
zen when he's doing that
He's all
interview.
chilled out.
I think he relaxed to the point of too relaxed. I was like,
Yeah.
oh no,
Yeah,
I
Ariel's
can't say that.
I have to say Ariel has impressed me the last couple of months. I've watched some of his shit. He's very good at getting to the point and getting the question. Just it's timing. It's the whole thing. He gets people to open up, and that's a special skill.
And
I
he's
think.
non-threatening.
No, not. He's like little Jewish boy, you know.
Right.
He's like, all like, hey, I'm your friend.
Right.
Like, tell me everything about your
Well,
life.
I couldn't get away with that.
No.
They'd be like, no.
Oh yeah, be intimidating, I think. But it's interesting. The MMA space in the next 6 months, I'm curious. Do you think all this crap that has happened is going to be undone within the next 6 or 8 months? Like everyone who's won and dethroned all these champions it's gonna all mix up again, or are they gonna hold on to their shit?
No, they're gonna lose. Conor McGregor's gonna lose in 2 fights.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said before this Jose Aldo fight. I said if he wins, I'm gonna give him 1 or 2 more fights before the media pressure cracks him.
Could be.
Because I think he's got a crack. I don't think you can maintain that level of any level of sanity having to do all the obligations. If he stays away from movies, maybe. If he scales it back, maybe. But who knows? Maybe they'll make him do another Tough or something.
Could be.
The guy needs some rest. Let him take a break. Do you want to talk about any of the upcoming fights? I mean, we can just mention what's happening this weekend.
I haven't even looked. What's happening?
There's so much happening. I'm like, I don't want to go deep on anything. I'm just gonna mention we got Cerrone versus Dos Anjos, the title fight next weekend. I like Cerrone in that one. You have any thoughts? I don't want to talk. Just give me who you think.
I gotta take Dos Anjos.
Okay.
I think he's gonna decision that fucker out.
I think drug testing is a motherfucker.
Oh, good point. Didn't think about that.
Overeem Junior Dos Santos.
Oh my god. But Overeem is like 30 pounds lighter now, right? I'll take Junior.
I'm gonna go Junior too.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz, Michael Johnson.
Ooh. Fuck. Probably Michael Johnson.
Yeah, I think wrestler dominates him. Although Nate posted a picture, I don't know if it was on Instagram, but he almost looked like a svelte Nick.
Wow.
Just
jacked?
really fit. So
okay, good for him.
Anything can happen. So let's
Maybe
hit
he
some.
laid off the drinking too.
Yeah, it's popular I hear.
Yeah.
We hire a nutritionist and whatnot. Anyways, news. What do you got?
I'll give you
I
a
have
couple.
nothing this week.
Yeah, we won't go too crazy.
I have alcohol.
Actually, I'm starving, so that's not a good sign. I want to talk to you about this Yang Jianbing dying after weight cutting for ONE FC.
Here we go again.
What is it going to take for them to figure out some shit regarding the weight cutting?
Well, I think we're going to get a step closer because if I'm ranking all the organizations, I think you have UFC, Bellator, and then probably World Series of Fighting and ONE FC are probably about the same level, number 3-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think some of the blame's on the fighters too.
Sure.
You know, you gotta. Well, maybe everyone needs to just move up a weight class.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta fight near your weight, and I don't know how they do it. But this is my problem when they went after performance-enhancing drugs. I said that's not what's killing people. Weight cutting is what's killing people. We had a guy in Brazil within the last year and a half die from cutting weight. Now we have one in a ranked organization.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta fucking do something about it.
It's gonna take a high-profile guy.
Like Conor McGregor to die during a weight cut.
Well, it's funny you say that because his coach had made comments last night about he's not fighting at 145 again. He won't support him cutting weight down to that weight again. It's not healthy for him.
Well, yeah, especially if you can't use the IV, and I think that's probably why you're maybe seeing more knockouts now. I didn't look at the rates, but some of these shots didn't look like they should have knocked people out, and people got knocked out.
You just can't properly hydrate.
Yeah.
So that's causing brain damage. I'd be interested to see. You got to let a whole year go by probably before.
Well, I wonder, can we check their hydration levels?
I don't know. My scales knows my fat level based on my hydration.
Oh, I don't trust that for jack.
I'm like, this doesn't seem right. Like it goes up and down 6%. I'm like, yeah, it's fluctuating that much. Okay.
You are 3% body fat. Thank you, good sir.
Not that low. I think the lowest it's like 12, 11 or no 12 and a half, whatever, and the highest is like 17. I'm probably closer to 17.
I don't even give a shit anymore. So whatever.
Just eat what you want.
Exactly. As long as you're healthy. Exercise.
Yes, exercise. Speaking of exercise.
Yep. What else?
You go on Jon Bones Jones.
I thought you were going to talk about Ronda Rousey, but okay.
We'll get there.
All right. Thank you.
Here's a man who's doing it right. He's looking large and in charge. Him and Arlovsky.
Well, Arlovsky, that is so much bigger than when we saw him, by the way.
Dude, he's gigantic.
We were just pulling up those pictures. What the fuck was that, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
When he was one of the coaches at the gym we were training
They look
at?
very
Jesus
similarly
Christ.
sized. I will say this though. I guarantee you can't tell because they're both wearing pants. The legs. I bet you there's a good 20 pounds in the legs. Arlovsky has man legs and fucking Jones has like chicken legs. So
even though he's still squatting, 500 pounds, deadlifting, that's always good for your body. Max lifts, just
burn it
drill it out.
Herniated disc.
Joints, tendons, all that shit.
Yes. But yeah, let's talk Rousey real quick because I'm like tired of talking. I mean, seriously, fucking Rousey, McGregor.
I know it's so like, overdone at this point.
Might as well be Kim Kardashian or something.
Oh,
but there are pictures floating of her around.
She's looking so hot.
She's looking a little on the
thick side, like about 50 pounds thicker.
Something. So I'm not sure what's going on.
She taking
there.
a seed?
Well, she was just at the Sailors Ball too. With the, you see that?
Yeah.
She looked more, but then the outfit she was wearing was one of those like
black.
It's like when women want to cover shit up, it's like always it's black, and then it's something like loose, just to kind of flow, right? She looked a little like she was wearing a bed sheet in a sense, but I'm not a fashion guy, as you can tell. So I don't know.
You are a fashion guy. Don't deny us.
I don't know anything about fashion. My legs falling asleep. But dude, what the fuck? Travis Brown like. Supermodel to like this crazy lady.
Well, maybe he's thinking about the future because that's a gravy train. You might want to ride it for a little bit.
Gravy train?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's odd to me.
Not your seat in that.
Yes, well maybe he already did.
I'm just saying.
It might have been done already. She came out and said that if she loses the rematch with Holm, she's done.
That sounds like a loser's mentality. I am sorry. I always thought Cyborg was going to be the person to retire Rousey, but I guess it's Holm.
I'm excited if they can do Cyborg Holm. I bet you Holm would fight her at 140.
She already said she would.
What about 145?
Why not? I don't see why she
doesn't care?
Holm will fight her.
She gives no fucks.
I respect that. That's not like Rousey. You got to come to 135. No, you knew she was going to kick your ass. That's why you didn't want to fight her.
That's like the Diaz mentality. Like, what'd you say? I don't have to cut 10 fucking pounds? I'm in.
Right.
Let's do it. Like,
exactly.
you want to do it up a weight class? Perfect.
Right.
Need more Twinkies.
Exactly.
Or Cerrone is another guy who's like, whatever. It's 155,
yeah, don't hide behind the weight.
Don't matter.
What are you weighing now? 175? Fuck.
Who, me?
No, her. I mean, Ronda Rousey.
No, it's more than that, but thank you. I don't know, dude. That's a great question. Because I wonder if she's 135, what does she fight at? 150s? 150, 149?
Probably.
So
she's
now
thick.
She looked skinny.
And she looked thicker the last fight than she's ever looked.
Yeah. Chubby-ish. Weird. It's very strange. The PEDs, it's USADA, it's the IVs.
There's so many fucking things in this equation.
So maybe things have to like take 6 months, a year, 2 years to kind of shake out.
Maybe.
Because look what happened. Like, if it seems to me like when I started watching MMA, got back problems?
A little bit.
Okay. Sorry.
You gotta adjust here.
Gotcha. When I started watching MMA, like, they weren't quite as in great of a shape like that. And then slowly the guys got more and more like bulky and muscular and cut. And now we're going back in the other direction.
Like Overeem.
Yeah. It's got to like level off or something. Like now they have to figure out, okay, how do we get around this shit? Like, what are we going to do?
Well, that's the other thing too. How just two people that have failed a USADA test. I still think some people are failing in the background, and we're not getting notified of it.
Yeah. Well, did we talk about this? Mighty Mouse said on the Rogan podcast, he let some weird shit out, and Joe kind of like moved it along, like saying like he knows of somebody that failed a drug test under the current system, and it was like, oh, maybe we didn't. But yeah, it was weird on that pot. It was like Joe kind of like just like, whoa, okay, we need to steer this direction. Like he was going. He said something he knows of a guy who failed a test with the current system with the whatever the what's Hitler's name? I forgot. The guy.
Jeff Nowitzki.
Yeah, who got busted, but no one said shit about anything. Like it was kind of just like brushed away.
Well, who would have the power to not have that drug test come out? It would have to be someone with a lot of drawing power. I'm not going to say it was Conor McGregor, but it would have to be one of your superstars for sure.
Dominic Cruz. That's why he's out so long.
Michael Bisping.
Yeah, it's Michael Bisping.
No steroids
in his eyeball. That's why
I will say this: that one day there's some shit's gonna come down that USADA. This is all alleged. that USADA is the dirtiest organization out there, and it's going to be like Lance Armstrong. There's already been some questionable shit USADA-wise, and it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. But, you know, if we're going to go down that route, then just let everybody go back to doing all the drugs, because it sure as shit doesn't seem like everybody's on stuff. And look at Overeem now. That's the perfect example. You can't be 265, like cutting to 265 to now looking like the former Overeem.
When is that fight again? Is that like 2 weeks?
No, a week from yesterday.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's why there's not even. I would like to have covered those in detail.
What is he weighing in at? Should we take bets?
I think we were saying 230s, man. He looked super light. He's 6'5", 6'6", maybe.
230s.
Yeah.
That would be something. 30 pounds lighter. And no one says a thing about it. It's like, we're just not going to talk about that. Okay.
He looked it. Yeah. He looked super light.
That's all I got.
Okay. Ask the nuts.
Please.
Dun, dun, dun. Steve Paul asks, if Ronda gets the rematch after being dominated, surely Aldo will get one. I, for one, can wait for the Edgar match. His style is annoying as shit. What do you guys think if McGregor moves up weight? Will he be out of his depth with the taller guys? It's a huge 145.
He's gigantic. I thought it looked like two weight classes fighting each other on yesterday. It wasn't. I don't know, man. It's always tricky because he's used to fighting smaller guys now, right? So if the guys are bigger, what happens? More power. If he gets, he seems like he's getting tagged more. So
fight a wrestler. You have nothing to offer off your back, McGregor. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He hasn't had to prove it yet.
He's working on the jiu-jitsu. He's got pole jiu-jitsu.
I got the Ido in my asshole.
That's right.
Yeah. Will he be out of depth? I think he'll be fine. Just fight a wrestler. Jeff Ellsbury, what's next for Rockhold? Immediate rematch? Or Vitor in Brazil? Hey.
Yes.
Vitor in Brazil.
I like it.
We'll support it.
Do it.
Yoel's the illest. How does it feel as an Aldo fan that he broke before the fight and a one-punch KO was the cherry on the pie? Ha 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 ha.
Wow. Is he gloating?
A little bit.
Fuck you, sir.
Fuck you, Aldo, you Brazilian bastard. You will have lost in 10 years. Fuck you. Fuck you and your fighter union and Reebok shit.
Was he from Las Vegas?
I don't know. That's fucking
Dana White.
That's bullshit, man.
That's totally Dana White. Thanks, Dana.
Don't hate anybody. If you're gonna hate someone, hate Michael Bisping.
Yes.
Or Jon Jones.
I can't argue with this statement.
Moving right along. I know you're gonna answer that. Rodrigo Machado for Ingo. What's the meaning of life? Can you elaborate, please?
I feel like this has been asked before.
Might have been. We've had a plethora of shows.
I will leave you with this because it's something I just finished reading.
Here we go.
The obstacle becomes the way.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I'll leave it up to your interpretation.
I come from nothing to something to everything. Conor McGregor.
I like that too.
For me, yes. Why is Dana White an asshole? Could you elaborate, please? He has little boy hands.
He does. And tiny feet.
And he probably has a tiny little dick. I'm just speculating.
Could be. Big bald head.
Right.
You know, it's weird. We haven't seen him. Like, he has not been. It's like he's getting less and less exposure. Weird.
Probably more closer to some lawsuit action.
Could be.
I think there were some activities happening within said lawsuit.
Didn't look that happy after, and it was standing in the cage.
No, right? You would think he would be super happy, but maybe they secretly wanted him to lose because his head is getting so big and the negotiations aren't going well. Like, fuck. Now we're going to have to pay this guy like $100 million. Where the fuck is that going to come
one
from?
Of those like, hey, if I do this, then this, and they're like, fine, sign it. Like,
yeah.
And, oh fuck, like he did that.
Maybe they made a bet behind the scenes, like I'm gonna knock him out in under a minute, and then you're gonna pay me $10 million. I don't know. Eighth Wall on Twitter asks, he says, upon replay, I think I counted 65 unanswered strikes by Luke at the end of round 3. Is that the most ever without a stoppage?
Probably.
Pretty fucking close, man. The only one that would rival that would have been Shane Carwin on Brock Lesnar.
Oh, yeah.
There were a lot of strikes. A lot. And I would argue that fight could have been stopped, too.
For sure.
Both. Follow-up. Should we just drop Sage Northcut on ISIS? His positive energy just might turn him from the dark side.
We should. Him and that other football guy. What's his name? He's the godly man. He was a quarterback. Fuck, what's his name? He was a quarterback. You know what I'm thinking of. He's all over everything now. No.
The soldier of God, Yoel Romero?
No. He's a football player. He's a fucking...
I have no idea.
I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Him and Sage. Positive person.
He is the smiliest motherfucker ever. All the time. Just smiles and thumbs ups. Good for him. He's fucking 19. He wants to be the youngest champion ever.
His physique is questionable.
You think? That was the funniest thing when you saw him versus, who was it, Cody Fister?
Yeah.
The Fist?
Yeah.
Night and day difference.
Look like a man and a boy.
Seriously.
Little boy. Crazy.
Oh, my God. Moving right along.
That's it?
We have some knowledge. Let's talk some video games.
All right.
Let's talk about Fallout 4.
Yes!
Go. We have such different opinions on this.
Hey, that's what makes this show great.
I didn't get to share it last night.
No, well, I told Mike to ask you, but I was just thinking, like, that's what makes this whole thing great, is we have such differing thought processes on a lot of things. Well,
it's not like some of these other shows where everyone's always like, oh, I agree with you 100%. Like, no, we disagree. We literally disagree on shit.
Yes.
Like, we're not always...
Exactly. So what are your thoughts on Fallout?
I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it, and I can't lie. It's part of it's the subject matter of, like, to me, what fun is running around in a post-apocalyptic world?
Yes, that's why I like The Walking Dead. It's awesome. Think about it. You got to figure shit out. Survival. No?
No, that's not fun to me. Like, the colors are bland.
Oh, yes. Nuclear fallout. Everything's dead.
Yeah, I get that. There's a German Shepherd that gets in my fucking way all the time.
Or did you try the robot at all? That thing's fucking annoying. He's constantly yapping.
No. And then I'm trying to sneak on people, and the dog's being an asshole and runs up and starts biting people. Like, fuckface. I'm trying to get my sneak on and stab people. Then he's blocking my way to getting indoors. Yep. Then there's this crafting system where I've got all this armor. I don't even know what's good and what's not. Then I'm walking around, I'm like, coffee cups. I think I need those. I think I need 10 of those. Beer bottles. I need those too. Okay, fuck, I can't walk. I've got so much shit. What do I need to get rid of? I don't know.
Do you know you can fast travel?
I figured that one out. But I'm just saying, and I like to go into a game not knowing anything. I want to see how good the game can teach me how to play it.
Well, that's
without reading nothing.
Not
and this taught me nothing.
No.
I got stuck. I didn't know there was a jump button.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have jump as the Y.
It's stupid.
Who the fuck puts Y as a jump? I literally lost 15 minutes of progress because I was stuck behind like a power station going, who the fuck makes a game with no jump? And now I can't get out of this spot.
There's a thing called settings where you can check the controls.
No, but that's why a game should give you a tutorial like most normal games give you to teach you, hey, here's how you do this, here's how you do that. This was just...
Fallout's like Star Wars. Like, it needs no introduction. It's just kind of like one of those
Well,
games.
this is the first time I played it, and I wanted to go into it blind to see how good of a job they did teaching me the game. They did nothing. And it's so overly complex. I wish I would have bought the disc because I would have sold the disc back. Unfortunately, I did it digitally, and now I'm fucked.
Sorry, man.
But that's my view. How do you feel about it?
It's the best. You know, 2 nights ago, I got on, I killed some shit, and then I went to some like quest area, and then there was a village there, so I did a couple things, but nothing crazy. And then I started like dismantling stuff. You know, you can like tear shit down and build shit up, and then they wanted like food and water and electricity, and I'm like I spent hours just going to find not coffee cups but other things like light bulbs and stuff so I can make copper wire and build my shit. And I didn't move the story forward at all, and I played 3 hours.
That's a problem. See, that's the other thing. I think there's no purpose. I need a purpose or a point.
Yeah.
And there was a point where I had a little settlement of people. We took over some house and we claimed that it's ours. And I was being nice, so I was like, fuck it, we got like 6 people. I'm going to put 6 beds out.
Absolutely.
And then later on, I talked to this guy that's in the house. He's like, man, it would sure be nice if you built me some beds. I'm like, motherfucker, I built 6. Do you not use them?
Yes.
Like, we're done. We're done.
Yeah. I love it. I think I'm going to be playing it for a while.
Good for you. You're going to have fun. Enjoy that.
It's definitely not as easily accessible as Destiny.
Yeah.
So Destiny's still, it's every time I log in, I'm like, sweet, I'm having fun, you know. Fallout's a little frustrating. Like, you know, the night before I played and I had some trouble. I got lost some time because I got stuck as well. And then I got killed and I didn't realize it didn't autosave. I was like dead.
Fuck.
All of a sudden, like, bam, death. I'm like, fuck, a half hour's gone. I got to start over again.
Oh, man. Yeah, I got into that habit of just, I always
nothing?
quick save or save. I forgot what game taught me I better do that.
Save a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to start. That pissed me off. I went in the wrong door, apparently, and all this shit came out and killed me. You don't think you'll pick it back up again later?
I might.
At a
It's
future
just,
date?
I like colorful games, too. It's very
Okay.
bland
Yeah, oh yeah.
for my color
Definitely.
palette.
Yeah. Post-apocalyptic. Fallout, nuclear waste. And then, you know, it's very complicated. That's the other thing. Even the perk
complicated.
system is really, well, there's a lot going on there. Like with where you put your points and whatever.
Yes.
It's very...
It's just way too complex. I don't mind some complexity, but keep it simple.
Okay.
It's like Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
That's right.
This game is not.
No,
If you're
definitely.
wanting the most complex game ever, this is for you.
Yes.
If you want something simple, not for you.
Okay.
I'm a simple man. I like simple things.
Like, for instance?
Butter in my ass, lollipops in my mouth.
That's right.
That's it. Shut it down.
Yes, that's been this week's edition of MMA Nuts.
What else is going on? Nothing.
No,
That's it. All right.
nothing. Anyway,
Bye, Griffin.
see you later.
Thanks for playing.
I had a brain fart. I didn't know what I was supposed to do.
That's all good.
How do I end this? Like that.